No, it was a going concern when I got it. It was a 440 4-speed daily driver. It had a little bit of work done to it in the States, but nothing outrageous. It was just a daily driver car. Now, my plan was not to make it as outrageous as it's been made now. The plan was to make it look like it does now. I could see how I wanted the car to look, but not go quite as outrageous with the 4-link and, you know, tunnel ram hanging out the bonnet, etc. So the original plan was to make it more usable, but the further we got into it, the more I could see the potential to make the car outrageous, to make it something different. And you don't see these things all the time. You know, there's very few of these cars in Australia that are heavily modified. So we're going to take the car to the drags probably in about June. Just got a few little things to sort out on it. I haven't got a tail shaft loop in it yet because it didn't get the time to finish all those bits and pieces off. But we had it down at the track at Chrysler's on the Murray, and it went around there in 106.5, I think. Now, when you consider that the car that won the day, the sedan that was the fastest on the day, was 102, then for a pro street car set up basically to drag race, the car did pretty well. So it works well at both ends of the scale. I've got a 71 Demon. The readers would have seen that about a year ago, and I just like the plum crazy. I like the look of I love the colour of the car. Where this car gets parked, the wall that those two cars are parked has been sprayed plum crazy, so they blend into the wall. So we got the original 440, pulled it out, sonic checked the bores. It was good meat in the bores. These things suffer from core shift. About 1 in 4 of the old RB blocks are any good to go much more than about 4.370. This is 4.385. We put a 4.5-inch stroke crank into it, steel capped it, side bolted it, put a set of Victor 440 heads on it. It's got a comp cams, 263, 270 at 50, 690 lift with 1.6 rockers on it. The tunnel ram is a new wind, and then I basically cut the bottom of it off, welded it all up, and then put it up in the mill and machined it all to suit the Victor Raceport Victor 440 heads. That being said, the flow of the manifold is not that great, so that will change. That's going to be changed. The transmission is a Hemi A833 inch and 3/16 18 spline 4-speed box with a Hurst vertical gate on it, 1350 unis in a 3.5-inch shaft, strange rear end, 35 spline, Willwood brakes. It's true track. It's built so reasonably tough. It's not going to break anytime soon.
And how much horsepower the engine made?
With 551 at the wheels, so that's about roughly 700 at the flywheel, which it should have been more, but as I said, manifold, exhaust. The exhaust is only 1 3/4 inch because it was the pipes that were on it, and we just simply ran out of time to build a set of pipes onto the car. So it'll go down to Liverpool exhaust, get 2 1/8 inch pipes on it. We'll change the tunnel ram out to Super Victor and a 1050 Dominator on it, and we're looking to make 600 odd, 620 at the wheels, which is what the engine should do. From a point of view of what I would do on the original build, I wouldn't use the Hemi A833 box. They're expensive and they're a rather cumbersome thing. Very strong, but a cumbersome thing. The vertical gate shifter, works well in a straight line, but for anything else it's pretty difficult, so I would have put a T56 Magnum into it. But other than that, the way that the car has come out for its first build and the way that it looks is what I was aiming for. It was what I was trying to achieve. As far as the look of the car is concerned, it probably ranks number 1 in my eyes. My favourite car is still my 56 Bel Air with a 540 cube big block in it, injected with a 5-speed, and I've had that car for 28 years, so it ranks number one, and it's hard to rank the rest of them because they're all very different, Paul. They're very different cars for doing different things. So, but this definitely, I think, takes the cake for the killer look of the stable of stuff that I've got. So, there's a whole heap of guys that gave me a hand with it. Luke Vitar, Luke works with me, and he was instrumental in getting the thing to where it is. A huge hand with the electrics and everything. Dave, who works for me part-time, he painted the car. Big thanks to Steve Smith, who came out, and I've known Steve for 40 years, and he came out and gave me a lot of help and assistance with the build. And Russ from Dominator Engines. Russ did all the machining, and then lent a hand with the things that I needed a hand with, bits and pieces. Yeah, that's about the number of guys. Only 4 of us involved in building it, really. So. Hi, I'm Mick. This is my 67 Plymouth GTX, and you're watching Killer Rides.